I'm Jacob Thomas. I'm a civil litigator at Saunders, Walsh & Beard. As an attorney in litigation, I deal with people's problems. People come to me not because they want to buy a new house or because they're adopting a child, but because either somebody has wronged them, either in taking their money or not performing their construction in a good way, and they need me to help solve their problem. I was told early on that as an attorney, we're not looking at just starting fights, and we're not looking at ending fights, but we're looking at solving a problem. And as such, I try to do my best to discuss with a client how they want to go about forming a solution to whatever it is the circumstances are presented. Part of that is first, of course, getting as much information as possible. I do that, I'll sit down with a client, we'll discuss the problem. I try to get as much information as I can, either through documentation or simply asking questions. It's important to me that a client is comfortable with the situation. Dealing with an attorney can sometimes be intimidating, and I try to put my clients at ease. We have a very pleasant staff here at Saunders, Walsh & Beard, and we do all that we can to elicit as much information the client is willing to give. Part of that communication is making sure that I'm always available to a client. And in that regard, my email, mobile phone, I can be contacted at any time or place. If I will usually tell a client that I will contact them within 24 hours if I would have to take a message. But generally speaking, that I usually respond within 8 hours. Once we've gone through the fact-finding process, I'll sit down with the client after formulating my initial thoughts and how I'd like to go about solving their problem. And I'll discuss those thoughts with them. Oftentimes what I find is that a client's previous involvement with an opponent will provide me with insight on how best to approach solving the problem. Between the two of us, my client and myself, we'll be able to formulate the best strategy given the particular circumstances and facts that we're dealing with. Once we have formulated that strategy, I'll often write it out to the client, make sure that I get that approval before proceeding. While I'm in charge of correcting the problem, of course, the client has as much, if not more, knowledge than I'll ever have about the situation, and therefore making sure that the client's on board with every strategic decision is paramount to our success. Once the ball is rolling, I like to tell my clients that the problem is now mine. I want them to go home and sleep well at night and not concern themselves about this all the time. Now, that's asking for a lot. And quite frankly, it's kind of hard to accomplish because obviously this is the client's personal issue. So what I try to do is communicate as often as possible. If I file a motion, I want the client to know it. If I get a response from the motion, they hear about it within 24 hours. If at any point in time my client is uncomfortable or wants to know what's going on, they're invited to call me day and night. They have my cell phone, email address, etc. Everyone at my office, in particular my assistants, will know what's going on in their case, and if I'm not available, they should be able to help. But in addition, quite frankly, sometimes cases go on for a little while and nothing happens. Well, I make it a point to contact my clients even when nothing is going on. If 2 or 3 weeks pass without contact, I make a point of touching base. Hey, look, there's nothing happening, so there's nothing to worry about. All told, as a problem solver, my goal is to make sure the client is comfortable, feels that their problem is being handled by competent hands, and that they're aware of what's going on at all times. So I invite you to contact our office. My name is Jacob Thomas. I work at Saunders, Walsh & Beard, and I'll be happy to speak with you.